Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tonka Online AP Macroeconomics. If you are watching this, that means that you are registered for the course and ready to get at it. Mr. Ristau here. I'm going to be your instructor for this summer's course. And the reason for the video is to kind of take you through not the course itself, but just kind of highlight a few things that are going to be important here, especially getting started early on. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Some of you may know me from perhaps AP US History this past year, or maybe in a course that you have had me before. But I'm going to take you through a few things that are going to be pertinent to the course itself, and just kind of the basic operational things, I guess, as we get going here. So welcome. Glad you have decided to take AP Macro this summer. Perhaps you're taking it to free up your schedule for next year, or you have an interest in economics. Whatever the reason, welcome. A little bit about myself. I have taught 31 years total. 21 of those years have been at Minnetonka, and I've taught AP Macroeconomics of those 21 years, probably about 14 of those years, 14 or 15 of those years. So I teach AP Macro online, of course. I also teach AP Macroeconomics, a couple classes in the building. I also teach 2 or 3 sections of AP US History. I've taught that for a number of years as well. And then a Global Studies and Economics course, and I'm active with other Tonka online courses as well. I'm married, been married for 30 years. I have 3 kids. 25-year-old triplets, all graduates of the University of Minnesota. And so they're out doing their thing as well. So let me tell you a little bit about here what's important about the course and kind of where I'm coming from. You can see my Schoology screen here. Mine's going to look a little bit different than yours. But you should see those bullet points there on top. And if I go over here to the left side of the screen, you may or may not be able to see this, but I have some contact information down here that's also posted into the welcome folder. So the welcome folder here on the materials page is going to be important for you guys. And there are a few things here that I'd like you to do as you get started in the course. All right. So if you haven't read my welcome letter, I'm just looking at the top of the screen. Make sure that you do that. Make sure you read through that. You will have watched this video. This is the Welcome to AP Macro video. Make sure that you complete the introduction activity, the discussion board that's posted on your calendar, which you see down here. Hopefully my cursor is moving and you can see that. Make sure you complete and post that by Friday, June 21st. Make sure that you reviewed the Tonka Online Self-Pacing Guidelines, and we're going to do actually a couple of those things here in this video, so you won't actually have to go back and do this. Make sure that you have looked through the reassessment policy, also found in the welcome folder. You have accessed the digital textbook that you will need for the course. That's important. That's also found in the welcome folder. Make sure you've skimmed through the syllabus. Again, that's in the welcome folder. Make sure that you have noted the items there posted on your calendar, which we'll get to here in a moment. Looks like I found a typo. I have to fix that. Formative work dates, exam dates, etc. Be aware that each Monday morning I will be posting a weekly video update. All right, so I'll probably post that sometime between, 9 and 10. It'll be sometime in the morning. And it's important that you watch those, because many times those updates will include scheduling reminders or pacing reminders. Here's where you should be by such and such a date or whatever. And just kind of recap what the week we just finished has been about briefly, and what the upcoming week should be about. But it's mainly going to be about scheduling and pacing reminders. And at any time throughout the summer, because it is the summer, it's a little bit different than the school year. If you have any questions, please make sure you contact me. Okay? One of the most important elements, I believe, of being successful in any online course is communication with the teacher, with the instructor. And that's really important during summer because, we're doing our own thing. We have maybe vacations planned. We have other activities, events planned, whatever, leisure time. But you're still enrolled in the course. And it's important that we do maintain those deadline dates and those due dates, etc. And you need to let me know if something is coming up. I have a family vacation planned over the 4th. I'm going to be, not active in the course for 6 days. Just let me know that. Okay. So communication, and communication. I will respond. I'll try to respond within 24 hours, if not sooner. And the preferred way to get a hold of me is through messenger here in Schoology. Okay. So let's look at the welcome folder and take a look at a few of these items. Hopefully this is opening up and you can see this. Here's my welcome letter. Here's the video that you are watching. Here, I'm going to put this up on the screen. This is kind of a rough pacing calendar for the summer. All right, you can see on here when the unit exam for that first unit will be, when the formative work for Unit 1 will be, which is always going to be the night before at 11:59. Okay, so whenever you see this on the calendar, you also will see this, of course, on your Schoology calendar. All formative work will time out and lock at 11:59 the evening before the unit exam. Okay, so more about that in a moment. I'll have this posted on your calendar as well. But that is the pacing calendar, right? It's not as specific as the one you'll see on Schoology. It just gives you an idea of roughly when those unit exams will be, so you can plan throughout the summer. And then the course will end on Friday, August 23rd. All right, that's when everything will be closed, will be done. I'll take care of grades, etc., etc. And that'll be really important because the following week, this week, my workshop, my school year begins. So I will be busy getting ready for the upcoming school year. So more about that later. But that is your pacing calendar, okay? So you'll notice, of course, it's not as specific, like I mentioned, as the Schoology calendar that you see over here, all right? But it is there, so I would reference that when you need to. Here's my contact information. This is mainly for during the school year, but you have a couple of email addresses that you can get a hold of me. If for some reason you want to meet in a Google Meet, here is the code, my first name, last name. If there's information or content that you're struggling with and you want to meet via Google Meet, that's how we can do that. Again, this is for the school year, so that's not relevant. And during the summer months, like I said, the most effective way to get a hold of me is via Schoology. Okay, email will work too, but I will always check Schoology first. All right. Let's start here with the reassessment policy. It's really important to know that because this is an online course, there are no reassessments moving forward throughout the course and the summer. All right. This is due to the nature of the original assessment being essentially open note summative assessment. Okay. Now, if necessary, exams may see, X number of points possible that are dropped, depending on the overall average performance on any given exam, which means that it will vary from exam to exam. Okay. So a 40-point possible exam, I might drop a couple points depending on the rigor of the exam to 37, something like that. But there are no reassessments. So please, no one ask me about a reassessment, all right, because it's not going to happen. And I explained why there earlier, all right. And there are a number of formative opportunities leading up to any exam, especially the problem set for the unit. So make sure that you're aware of the reassessment policy. The other policy that I want you to be aware of is the Tonka Online self-pacing guidelines. And basically what this says, I'm not going to read through all of this, I'm mainly talking about this paragraph down here, okay? And basically what this says is that if you are new to online, this is really important, and even if you're not new to online, it's a good reminder. You have the flexibility to create your own schedule, right? And plan on learning the course content. But this is the important part. Within the unit due date and deadline parameters set by me. Okay. So you can do what I'm saying is you can do the work whenever you want, however you want, within the parameters of the unit. So you do have a degree of flexibility, like it says, to choose when you complete the assignment. You interact with the content. However, assignments need to be completed at regular intervals required by the course. That's the information there you see on your Schoology calendar. In other words, you need to keep up on the deadline dates, meet the assignment due dates and deadline dates for each unit. Okay? So the way I treat this course is I run it very much like I would if we were in the classroom. The difference being you can do the work and the assignments and whatnot whenever you wish up to the time of the unit exam. Okay? So when you see on your calendar, and we'll just refer to it right now, you'll see right now there is 6 formative things that are due by Wednesday evening, June 26th. You can do those whenever you wish up to June 26th, midnight of, or 11:59 of June 26th. But these all will time out at 11:59 on June 26th, and I won't reopen them. Okay, so be aware of that. That's doing the content and the assignments within the confines of the unit, the parameters of the unit, with the unit exam being on Thursday, June 27th. So I'll explain that more the closer we get to that exam date. Okay, so that's how it will work. I won't open up Unit 2 until then, Friday, June 28th. So we go a unit at a time, much like we would in the classroom. Okay, so make sure that you are aware of that self-pacing guideline practice that we have. Here is the introduction activity discussion board. This pretty much speaks for itself, but I'll open it up anyway. All I'd like all of you to do is just tell me a little bit about yourself. Answer the prompts here as they're laid out. Post it to the discussion board. Okay? Feel free to respond to someone's posting. Just remember, since it's a public discussion board, it should be appropriate, etc., etc. Okay? So please do that by Friday, June 21st. That's kind of your first quote-unquote assignment. It's not going to be graded, but I'd like to know a little bit about yourself, and I think it's important to build community since it's an online course, and see who else is taking the class. All right. A few other things here in the welcome folder. Here's where you'll find your textbook. Like it says, a must-have. Make sure you have access to this book. It's the Krugman's Macro for AP, the 3rd edition. This is the digital version, so make sure you know where that is. This folder, you can find the syllabus. Make sure when you have a spare moment, make sure you read through the syllabus. And AP Classroom, if you're wondering about AP Classroom and the AP Classroom codes, typically I do not have those early on in the summer. Last summer I didn't have those codes from Mrs. Herbst, who is the AP and IB coordinator. I didn't have those until mid-July, late July. So unfortunately, and I don't have them now, so unfortunately you can't rely on AP Classroom quite yet. So I hopefully I'll have those maybe as early as a month, if not sooner. We'll see. If you're having any technical problems, or if mom or dad or whoever, if you're having Schoology issues or what have you, there is a folder here for student support. All right, this will take you to the school website for Tonka Online. This is a great website. There's a website here for technical support and help for Tonka Online, and just a few other documents and folders regarding Schoology and tech issues. There's also a document here if you are dropping the course for waiving the fee. Here's the drop course form I believe they're still using, so be aware of that, and some other Schoology stuff. All right. But all in all, most of the stuff that you're going to want to access here in the welcome folder early on is right up here. Okay? Some things on your calendar. I think I already mentioned most of this stuff. Complete the introduction, discussion board activity. These are reading quizzes, just formative reading quizzes. You'll notice that these pertain to the module in your book. Your book is divided up into modules. Here is the module 1 quick check, module 1 and 3. They're not always going to exactly follow module 1, 2, 3, 4, not always. It depends on what I want to highlight and emphasize. So 1, here's 1 on 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Okay? So make sure that you know then for Unit 1, notice that Unit 1 covers, here's the Unit 1 content folder. This is the folder we'll be working out of first. It covers modules 1 and then 3 through 7 of your textbook. Okay, and that's what I have posted here. Complete those. They will time out 11:59 Wednesday the 26th. Those are formative. The other formative assignment is each unit has a problem set. So 6 units, there will be 6 problem sets. And the problem set, if I can open it up, this is going to be your main formative assignment. Okay? And by the way, you're only asked to complete assignments that you see posted on your Schoology calendar. All right? And most of the time, it's going to be quick checks and problem sets. So this is the Unit 1 problem set. All right. So this is going to be important. It's going to be 100, 150, probably formative points, somewhere in that neighborhood. And you want to complete this and then submit it to the Dropbox. All right. Everything is going to be going in the Dropbox if it's an assignment like this. So again, that's going to time out 11:59 Wednesday the 26th. All right. So you want to stay on top of the deadline dates, be aware of what's due, be aware when it times out, etc. So you're ready for that first unit exam, in this case, the Unit 1 exam, when June 27th rolls around. All right. So you'll see how the folder is set up. Here's Unit 1 content folder. Some of the stuff you will not need to worry about. The first thing you'll see in any unit folder, content folder, is an overview video. I encourage you to watch that because I just provide a overview of what the unit is about. All right, so please watch that. It's usually 3, 4, 5 minutes. The next thing usually will be your folder full of notes. These notes actually are based on AP Classroom. So these are going to be a really important source of information for you. Okay. Then there's some other notes down here too. These are College Board videos, actually. So these are great videos. Each unit content folder has those. But I would focus mainly on the notes and use these to your advantage. Here's a folder on the homework assignments. You'll notice the problem set here. That's the only formative work you have to worry about largely for Unit 1. Okay. And then I've got the quick check folder there, but you'll notice those will always be posted to your calendar, okay, over there. The rest of these things you don't really need to worry about, okay? And like I said, we're working out of Unit 1 only. When the time comes, I'll open up Unit 2, et cetera, and as we progress through the summer, there will be 6 units that we will be covering, okay? Other than that, I can't think of much else. The only other assignment that you see here is this article analysis. All right. So let me explain that. If you look back into the welcome folder, you'll see a folder here called Macro Article Analysis Assignment. The first one has been posted on your calendar. Okay. And these are going to be due every week, every Friday. And you'll see the instructions here, but essentially what I'd like you to do is to find an article about economics, and follow the instructions. You're going to be doing a write-up, essentially 2 paragraphs about the article. The first paragraph is essentially going to be an overview, a summary of the article itself, and then the second paragraph is going to be basically your reaction to it, okay, your opinion on it. So you'll see the template that I'd like you to use, how to structure it, and you'll see more specific instructions about what your write-up should be about. All right. So this one is going to be due Saturday, June 22nd, and I would plan on one of those per week. Okay. It might vary, 1 week it might be Friday, 1 week might be Saturday, 1 week might be Sunday, depending on the timing of a unit exam. Keep in mind, this assignment is a summative. It's only 5 points, but it's a summative. All right, so they're kind of a nice buffer. They're intended to be a buffer to kind of offset maybe a poorer than what you wanted exam score. All right, so throughout the course of the summer, you might end up having about 10 or 11 of these. So that'd be another 50 to 60 summative points. Okay, so it's important that you get those in on time. Now, the last thing I want to close with is I've told you that the formative work is going to close and lock, right, on the deadline date. Summative work, exams, article analysis assignments, any summative work, once the deadline passes, the drop box remains open, okay? But there will be a percentage deduction, all right? So it's a one letter grade deduction. For example, if you don't get the article analysis in by Saturday 11:59 on June 22nd, there is a one letter grade deduction, but you still want to get it in. After 2 weeks, if it's 2 weeks and I never get it, then it drops to 50%. And if I never get it, of course, it drops to a 0. Okay. So you want to keep that in mind. Make sure you get those in, ideally on time. Same thing applies to an exam. If the exams are not taken on time by the deadline date, it is a one letter grade deduction. So it's really important that you let me know, you communicate with me what's going on. Now, having said all that, I might not be as strict with it during the summer because it's the summer. But at the same time, it's still a course that you're registered for, and I'm going to keep the integrity of deadlines and due dates and whatnot. So you got to make sure you let me know, but also keep in mind, okay, he's gonna count off a letter grade if I don't get this exam done by Thursday, June 27th, 11:59. Okay. So just a few things to keep in mind there about the policies. Those late work policies as it pertains to summative are also explained in the syllabus. So with that, I think I've gone on long enough. That's all that I wanted to cover. Again, welcome to the course. Make sure, again, that you're looking at these items up here. Feel free to get going in Unit 1. Again, it's important you communicate with me. And staying on top of things here on your calendar. This is going to be kind of your guiding light. Your Schoology calendar. Remember that your pacing calendar is also in here. There it is. Make sure that you keep a heads up with your pacing calendar. And our free first unit exam will be Thursday, June 27th. Don't forget to access your textbook, right? And get going with the content when you can, as early as you can. The rule of thumb is I'd say try to do a little bit with macro each day. Okay, it doesn't have to be tons, but try and do a little bit with it each day. Feel free to message me if you have any questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm on my computer almost every day, so I will try and get back to you as soon as I possibly can, usually always within 24 hours. All right? So welcome to the course, everyone. Reach out if you have any questions. And that's all that I have. Hope you have a good rest of your Thursday. Today is Thursday, June, I believe it's June 13th today. And welcome to the course, like I said, and we will talk to you soon. Bye for now.